And I'm introducing you to the 2015 Hyundai Sonata, the SE model. This is the entry-level model, but it is really going to shock you, all of the fine features that you're going to get in an entry-level car from, believe it or not, Hyundai. First thing I want to take a look at is the Fluidic Sculpture 2.0, which is the design cues made here right in the United States, designed in California and built in Alabama by Hyundai Motor Corporation USA. You'll notice that the car flows very smoothly, looks like it's moving while it's standing still. In fact, the car cuts through the air like a hot knife through butter. That gives you better fuel economy with a more efficient engine. In fact, let's get into the engine compartment of this car. And in the engine compartment, let's talk about the heart of it, the 2.4 185 horsepower GDI 4-cylinder engine. GDI is gas direct injection. What that simply means is the injectors are sitting right inside of the cylinder where they have a more precise spray of gasoline that gives you better fuel efficiency as well as better horsepower. Now, to help increase that as well, Hyundai uses this large air intake. A lot of other manufacturers, you see just a little tiny air intake. Hyundai wants to get volumes of cold air forced into that cylinder where it combines with that GDI injection to again provide a stronger horsepower as well as better fuel economy. Hyundai engineers have been thinking really hard at putting a great car together for you. The engine is mounted on a fluid-filled motor mount, which is designed to help absorb the noise and vibration from the engine so you don't feel it in the passenger compartment. That leads to a more comfortable, quiet, enjoyable ride. In fact, this hood insulator blanket, in fact, helps absorb even more noise from making it into the driver's compartment. Hyundai does use stainless steel timing chain instead of a timing belt. The idea is this timing chain is designed to last the life of the engine with no recommended maintenances, saving you money. If you had a timing belt every 60,000 miles, that's a service, that'll cost you anywhere from $1,200 to $1,500. Hyundai uses long life spark plugs that are not designed to be changed or have a tune-up till 105,000 miles. The user serviceable areas of the car, even if you're not a gearhead, are in translucent plastic containers, your brake fluid back here, your overflow for your coolant here, and your washer fluid right up front where it's easy to get to. You may have noticed I didn't point out a power steering fluid reservoir because this car uses electronic power steering, so it actually takes less power from the engine, again increasing the fuel economy. Every time we get you a little increase in fuel economy, it's going to add up to bigger increase in fuel economy over the life of the car, and that's more money in your pocket. Hyundai's engine, by the way, is covered up for the 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. That's the engine, the drivetrain, and the transmission. The full car is covered for 5 years, 60,000 miles, and in a little while I'll tell you about the roadside assistance that's 5 years unlimited mileage and how it adds value to your Hyundai automobile. One last thing I wanted to point out under the hood was how well finished the area at the front of the hood is. You see no exposed wires, you see no exposed metal. That's features that you usually look for in a highline luxury car, something like a Mercedes or a BMW. Imagine finding those features in a mid-$20,000 Hyundai family sedan. Let me close the hood and I'm going to ask you to step back and take a long look at the car. And you'll notice the beautiful design that it shows, the silhouette from the front, the hexagonal grille that was redesigned to give the car a more powerful, a stronger look. You'll also notice the LED daytime running lights. The first time I ever saw daytime running lights in a car, I think it was a BMW or a Mercedes. That's a feature that you typically expect to see in a highline luxury car, not in a mid-size family sedan. But Hyundai felt that you, in fact, deserve to have a quality car with a lot of quality features and quality equipment. Step around to the side of the car and just look at the lines of the car. You'll see what I mean by fluidic sculpture. It looks like the car's moving while it's standing still. In fact, let me point out a feature that Hyundai added to the car was alloy wheels. This is the base car. With our competitors, typically you're going to find a steel wheel with a plastic wheel cover. This not only is a stronger and lighter wheel, which gives you a little bit better fuel economy, but it also is a better looking wheel and it also adds value to the car. And Hyundai didn't add for those, Hyundai included them. Okay? I love this folding side view mirror because I have a 2-car garage and my wife carries a lot of junk in the garage. So sometimes getting both cars to fit is a little bit of trouble. But just fold the mirror in and I'm in a tight parking space or in that tight garage. Also, the manufacturer has said in the event of a small impact, it may keep you from breaking the mirror, which could save you money. You'll notice when you get inside the car, I'll point out, in fact, there's a blind spot mirror built into the side of that mirror to help you see that person who just kind of seems to pop up right there sometimes. It happens to me sometimes when I go to change lanes. Hyundai's a steel manufacturer, and a lot of people didn't know that. With that in mind, Hyundai's able to actually produce steel at a lower cost than most other manufacturers can. In fact, Hyundai sells steel to some other manufacturers. What Hyundai did, however, was use their best, highest strength steel, which amazingly is actually a lower weight and helps increase the fuel economy again, for 51% more steel than this year's model of the Sonata. When I open the door, you can see it opens at nearly 90 degrees, making it easy for a person to get in and out of the car, whether they're tall or short. Just makes it very, very easy. Come on in, let me show you just a couple things on the steering wheel. I'm an IndyCar race fan, so I'm really impressed when the drivers can change all kinds of things on their steering wheel. So I like the fact that in my Hyundai car, I can make or receive a phone call with the push of a button just by my thumb. I can, in fact, and I'll show you this, you can touch the voice mode and command the radio station to dial right in for you. The cruise control buttons are right here on the steering wheel, as well as the volume and the changing of the radio station. And there's a driver information center here that gives you information from all over the vehicle at a touch of a button, right in the driver's line of sight, so you don't have to take your eyes off the wheel or your hands off the road to get information from all over the car. Okay, it's a very, very spacious driver's seat that also allows you to adjust the steering wheel not only up and down, but in and out, so you have infinite ways to get comfortable, as well as you can adjust the height of the seat up and down, obviously forward and backwards, and you can tilt the seat back as well. There is a driver assist handle to help you get out of the car right there, but I want to move on around to the back seat. You saw I was sitting there at 6 feet tall. I had plenty of room in the front seat, but look at what happens when I go in that same spot, never move the seat, I hop in the back, and I've got plenty of room. Hyundai uses an idea called stadium seating that actually creates space under the front seat for the rear passenger's feet, as well as a sculpted rear of the front seat to allow more knee room. You can see I could be pretty comfortable, and I hate sitting in the back seat of a car. Before I get out, I'm going to pull down the armrest, and you can just look there and see that it's got 2 cup holders in the armrest for the rear seat passengers and bottle holders in the door. So if you're taking a long road trip and the kids are back there, they can take along for plenty to drink. In fact, if you've got kids back there or there's another adult back there, there's a power point in the back as well as 2 in the front, so you can plug in up to 3 different rechargeable devices through the 12-volt system. Okay. I'm gonna grab the key out of the car here real quick so I can show you in the trunk. And the trunk is accessible either by the remote control button or there's an electronic trunk release switch on the dashboard. Just before I open the trunk, I did want you to notice the spoiler that's on the trunk. It's a nice feature. It does give a nice design to the car, but it does more than look good. It serves a function. At highway speeds, it creates a little bit of additional downforce, and it helps add to the aerodynamic qualities of the car, gives you just a little bit more increase in fuel economy. That's a standard feature on all the Sonatas, and again, it's put there to help save you fuel. You look at the spacious 16.4 cubic foot trunk. I guarantee you can get plenty of luggage in there for a road trip that you're having. And if you happen to go over to IKEA or someplace where you need to put a little larger item than you normally could fit in the trunk, just pull one of the rear seat releases here. It's a 60-40 split, and you can split that rear seat, still carry a passenger, or if the item in fact is pretty big, you can split both sides of it. Now you've lost your passenger capacity, but you didn't have to rent a pickup truck for that small box from IKEA. Okay. Underneath the trunk floor, I do want you to see the tire mobility kit. This is one of the coolest features that could ever come out for an automobile. Most tire failures are not a tire shred anymore, it's just a small puncture. So Hyundai realized that we can make it easy for you on the side of the road. Rather than having jacks, tools, tires, equipment, getting dirty, sliding around on the side of the road, you can just take your tire mobility kit, which comes with a pump that runs off the 12-volt system in the car, as well as a sealant, much like Fix-A-Flat, but even better. Hyundai designed this so it won't ruin the inside of your tire, and it's easy to clean when you get to a place where you have the tire actually patched. Takes just a few moments on the side of the road, and if you had a flat tire, you're back underway, and you didn't have all the fuss and muss of dealing around with a typical spare. Also, if you notice, it creates a little bit more storage space under the trunk. Now, there's a few folks who are purists, say, I want to have my spare tire. Let me ask you this, if you used your spare and you were to get another flat, what would you do? Okay, how about we set you up with a second can of sealant, and you can cover 2 tires if you needed to at one time. Because the best thing for you to do is get that tire fixed and get back underway. Would you agree? If you did need help that required a little bit more, just come right around here to the rear passenger door and use the 1-800 roadside number. I told you it's 5 years, unlimited mileage roadside assistance. So if you get a flat and you need assistance, you don't feel comfortable doing it on your own, you run out of gas, you lock your keys in your car, or you have a mechanical breakdown, Hyundai will send roadside assistance right where you are on the road to help you get back underway. If your car's not running properly, your car will be towed to the nearest Hyundai dealer, no matter where you are in the country. And if it's a warrantable repair, Hyundai will put you in a rental car first day. One other thing is, if you're over 150 miles from home and you need food or lodging, Hyundai will reimburse you up to $500 for food and lodging while your car's being repaired. Hyundai's in the game with you for 5 years, 60,000 miles full coverage, 5 years unlimited on the roadside, and 10 years, 100,000 miles on the powertrain. But I want to show you one other part of the car, and we're going to head around to the passenger side. Now when we get around, just as we were walking by, I did want to point out that the tail lights as well as the front lights are of a wraparound style. All that means is not only can you be seen from the front and the rear, you actually cast a little light to the sides, gives your car a nice silhouette at night so folks may be able to see you if they're coming down the side road at you. In the front seat, I'm just looking at Hyundai responding to owners and what owners had to say. One of the biggest complaints Hyundai had was owners who would get into the passenger seat, sometimes it was the wife, and sometimes it was the partner, sometimes it was one of the kids, complaining that they couldn't see from the position, that the seat was too low to the floor. So Hyundai put an height adjustable front seat to allow your passenger to get to a point where they felt comfortable and in fact could see and felt very, very comfortable what was going on down the road. Here's what I want you to do. Hop in right there. I'm going to show you a couple other features inside the car. We're going to enjoy our demo drive, and you're going to be very, very impressed with the new 2015 Hyundai Sonata SE. Thanks for your time today.